What's up, Heather?
What's up, B?
And what's up to all you beautiful bourbon bandits out there? Welcome back to Poor Decisions Wednesday, the series where we make questionable choices, but only after 6 p.m.
See, we're such responsible adults. We
We
wait
are.
till 6. It's socially acceptable that way. Also, honestly, questionable decisions is kind of our brand. So if it's your brand too, hit that like and subscribe button. It has been scientifically proven that your bourbon tastes 12% better after you subscribe to our channel.
Folks, that's science. It's definitely not witchcraft. Also, while you're at it, follow us on all of our social media that we have magically appearing here in front of the barrel.
Magically.
Yep. Heather needs friends to validate her existence in the digital void. She's very much like that Neo character.
I know that that's from The Matrix.
Very good.
B, it's called social media engagement. First of all, you asked me to do it. Second of all, it's something you wouldn't know anything about unless it involved bribing people with bourbon.
I bribe people with bourbon and I bribe people to get bourbon, and neither one do you have a problem with.
Well, you also have no problem with our little social media posts that go up every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So we'll call it a truce for now. For
now.
the next 7 seconds
Yeah.
or so. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so now that we've got all that out of the way, what poor decision.
You know what? I am going to give... He came up with that, y'all, and I am going to give him full credit for that because it was a pretty great name.
What poor decision are we going to make today on this Wednesday?
We're done now with the
Okay.
applause. Okay.
Right.
So today, we're diving into Ben Holladay 1856 Rickhouse Proof Bourbon. They're really proud of Rickhouses. Like, they're very into that whole thing. This bottle comes straight out of Missouri from the oldest distillery west of the Mississippi that's still operating on its original site. But I feel like we've had more than one distillery make that claim.
It seems like it.
Like, I feel like I've said that before.
There may be several that are still operating on their original site, but according to the internets, this is the only one west of the Mississippi, for
Okay.
sure.
On its original site.
On its original
All
site.
All right, fine. We'll give it to you, Holladay. That really is some serious old school bourbon street cred.
Yeah, I mean, that's a flex.
It is a flex.
Now, it was founded back in 1856. You know, back when streaming meant trying not to drown crossing a river.
You'll see what I have to deal with. So Holladay Distillery uses the magic limestone filtered spring water. You know, everybody's got their little limestone spring.
Their distillery was actually founded on a spot that has it.
But this one's even more special. You know why?
Why is that?
Because their special magical limestone spring was first charted by none other than Lewis and Clark. So if you think about it, this bourbon's basically American history, but you can drink it like the water in the spring.
I mean, I think we should pass this out to the masses.
Well, of course.
Should be available.
Yeah. This is why they should send in care packages to our military folks.
Absolutely.
It's
this should
patriotism
be,
in a glass,
yeah,
honestly.
yeah.
Because of course it is.
Now, unlike some heritage brands, they're actually making this stuff on site. So it's grained to glass in Missouri, the Show Me State, which means it qualifies as Missouri straight bourbon. So it's official. You can drink this and feel all types of patriotic. Is it Missouri or Missouri?
I think it depends on where you're from.
What if you're from Missouri?
I grew up saying Missouri, but I've definitely heard people say Missouri.
But if you're from Missouri, is it Missouri or Missouri?
Well, one of you from out there from Missouri, leave a comment and let us know.
Yeah, I don't know how you're going to do that because it's both spelled with the same. But you'll figure out a way.
You can type out a way to tell us.
I get.
how
Yeah,
it's
you could.
spelled.
Yeah, that's true.
Or
My
send
bad.
us a Google link.
Phonetics.
Phonetics. That's the word.
Phonetics.
Phonetics.
All right, so because that wasn't nerdy enough, here's the nerdy breakdown of this bourbon.
Brought to you by the biggest nerd herself.
You're so funny.
I am.
You have 10 years experience on my nerdiness.
Just do it better.
Yeah, that's it. Ben Holladay Rickhouse Proof is a small batch bourbon. It's aged at least 6 years. You can see it has a cute little 6 on the front. And it's bottled at barrel strength. They're not playing around. There's no water added, no filters. It's not pulling any punches.
Now, the proof varies batch by batch, but it's somewhere between 119 and 122.7. This one is...
122.7.
There
Because
we go.
if we're going
We're going big.
we're going all the way.
Yep. So it's going to hug your insides like a warm, slightly aggressive, itchy flannel shirt.
Kind of like you.
Yeah, I'm slightly
warm,
aggressive.
aggressive, and a
A
little itchy.
Yeah, pretty much.
a little rough on, you know?
Sometimes.
The mash bill is 73% corn, 15% rye, and 12% malted barley. So it's a pretty classic bourbon structure, and it has that little bit of rye spice.
Yeah. So tell us what we're going to get on the nose.
All right, before we stick our noses in it, dun dun dun, that was not that funny. Here's what we should be picking up according, to those internet experts, which I would really like to become one of them. So,
and you can too if you follow your dreams.
And us on Tortured Bourbon.
Please do.
Sweet oak, caramel, baking spices, dried fruit, and cinnamon.
So it should be like, your grandma's house.
At Christmas time.
If she ran a speakeasy.
Mine didn't do that, but her house did smell nice.
Well, good.
What
I'm
are you
glad.
getting, B? Definitely baking spices.
Oh, wow.
Apparently, B got shot in the eye.
Oh, wow.
Does it burn?
122 proof.
I bet it does burn. I'm sorry. Are you okay?
Yeah, I just can't see out of that eye. That's
Do you want me to pour some water on it?
No.
You sure?
You can pour some sugar on me.
In the name of love?
Yeah.
Do you need to go take a break?
No, I do not.
Okay.
Give me a break. Give me a break.
Break
me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
Kit Kat bars are delicious. Anyway.
I do know who pronounces it Missouri.
Who would that be?
That pronunciation is primarily associated with residents of the southern and rural parts of the state, particularly those from the Bootheel region. It's a remnant of older pronunciations influenced by Native American languages.
Cool.
But northern and urban areas is the more common Missouri.
Okay.
Very interesting. So on the palate, you should expect a little bit of a sweet and spicy roller coaster.
I wonder if they have good roller coasters in Branson. I don't know.
They might. Spicy caramel, baking spices, burnt cherry, toasty caramel, corn sugars, and a little black pepper sneaking in at the end.
Now the finish should be medium to long with cinnamon spice, rye earthiness, some oat dryness, and a little black pepper just to keep things interesting.
So basically, it's going to shake your hand, pat you on the back, and then it's going to slap you on the rear on the back on your way out.
All right. Well, let's taste it.
I actually very much get the burnt cherry in the middle.
Yeah. Ooh. And there's a lot of toasty oat, toasty caramel on the back end.
A little black pepper, but it's not overpowering by any means. But I really did get that cherry in the middle. And cherry's one that I don't always get, but I really got it there in the middle.
See, I get the toast at the end.
Mm.
I get that toasty oat, toasty caramel. Even kind of at the end. I don't know how to explain that other than
Toasty's the right word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it makes you kind of go, which is good. It's kind of drying out. And that's also a little of that pepper too.
Mm.
That pepper gives it that. I would say that it is a medium finish.
I agree, which is what they said. There is some cinnamon there.
Yeah.
And I like the description that they gave of the rye earthiness. That's
Yeah.
that when I do the, that's what I'm getting.
That's where you want to chew it in that back molar.
Maybe if I had my wisdom teeth, I would have an extra layer of like bourbon tasting, but mine are gone. So
Mine are still under the skin
I think
back
you
there.
have an advantage over
They're
me.
still under the skin.
Oh, they never came out?
Nope.
Special.
And they've never been cut out either.
They're
A
just
discussion
hanging
for
out.
another day.
They're just hanging out.
It does have oaky dryness.
This is one that I actually think that the descriptors were very on point, both with the aromas and the taste and the finish. You know, some of them are wackadoodle, but these were pretty on point.
And it is not for the faint of heart. I mean, there's a lot there.
It's not. I wouldn't suggest just starting your journey here, or even maybe starting your night here.
No.
But it is very drinkable. Sometimes for some people, the higher proofs, it almost becomes undrinkable because they can't get past the proof point. But this is very pleasant.
It is smooth. For 122 proof, it's smooth.
I agree. And I do get that dried fruit. It's a little sweetness there, like you said, the caramel. It's not sugary sweet. It's more of a fruit toasty sweet, but it's good. I like it.
And for those of you out there, not in allocation land, Holladay, up until about last year, their bottled and bond was very difficult to find.
Mm-hmm.
And that label's also their labels are interesting to me. So this one has a stagecoach with the Rickhouse in the background. The Holladay bottled and bond has that truck on it. And for some reason, and I don't know why, whenever I see that truck, it reminds me of Christmas. Which there's no.
I know exactly what you mean.
But it has that kind of country truck feel.
It's
like
that image, and there's usually a Christmas tree on top. Yeah.
But it was very difficult to find. In fact, the first time we found the Holladay bottled and bond, it was behind a counter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so it was allocated. Is probably not the right word, but it was definitely.
It's a little sparse.
A little sparse.
Yeah.
It's picked up a little bit in the past few years around here, especially at some of our more uniques ABC stores.
Like your Youngsville and stuff. Yeah, you'll find it.
But it's good. And we've been sipping it slowly because of that. We haven't real sure when we'd be able to get it again.
I mean, I think they really do lean into that. I'm glad you mentioned the packaging. They very much lean into that Midwest Americana.
They do.
Yeah. And I'm glad you also said it's good. So I was hanging out with some bourbon drinkers this weekend at a soccer tournament and was talking about the show and, was trying to impress them with our knowledge. And one of the guys said, he's like, I could never do that. I'd just be like, it's good. And I was like, hold on. I was like, my co-host, half the time says, I don't know what to say. It's good. So I was like, that is a very Tortured Bourbon approved phrase. If it's good, it's good.
It's good.
It's good, it's good. Solid. What would you rank it?
Wow. I knew we forgot to do something. That's ridiculous. We don't.
Well, I thought that's why you poured more.
We don't film for 5 whole days and
forget everything. It all goes out the window.
We haven't filmed in a while.
It's been a legit week, a whole week.
Yeah,
it's a long time
for us. Yeah,
it is.
Why did we do a 5 scale? We should have put a few more in there. In retrospect,
honestly,
we should have put a few
I think
more.
We'd still struggle.
Yeah, I mean, it is a special occasion bourbon, and no, I don't want to say that. That's the problem. I mean, it is much. It is certainly better than a doggle hunt in the sense that
I was gonna rank it Hush Your Mouth.
Yeah.
It's a little special.
Producer Katie, can you MSRP this? I think it's about $55.
Oh, I should have added. That's a good question.
According to the North Carolina ABC Commission, it retails for $74.95.
Oh, so it's a little higher than we thought. Okay.
That doesn't change it for me. It's still going to be Hush Your Mouth.
The only thing that would caveat for me is to tell the 3 of you that are watching, make sure you like a higher proof point. Yeah. Make sure you like that cinnamon-y baking spice, dried fruit sort of flavor profile before you invest in it, because it is a little unique.
Yeah. But if you're...
But it doesn't change my ranking for me.
No. And I think that things that are barrel proof, rickhouse proof, they're attracting a certain connoisseur.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Long story short, Hush Your Mouth for the Tortured Bourbon crew. If you like a decently higher proof, a decently complex flavor profile, little burnt cherry, a little baking spice.
Yeah.
A little pepper. Little toasty oak.
Toasty oak with a little chewiness on the back end.
This is a solid buy.
Yeah.
And it's a fun one. If you kind of have a lot of friends who are bourbon drinkers, it's a fun, kind of unique one to pull out.
Yeah, and you're probably not going to see it on every shelf in town, which is another thing that is helpful.
Be something a little different.
Yeah.
So.
Well, enjoyed it.
I did too.
Yeah.
On that note,
and if you're ever in Missouri or Missouri,
whichever,
give it a look.
Whichever pronunciation you prefer.
Yeah.
We support it. Yeah. Honestly.
I mean, some people
potato,
some
Missouri,
people say
Missouri.
Carolina. Some people say Kakalaki. Whatever. However.
It's exactly the same thing.
North Kakalaki, South Kakalaki.
On that note, until our
Better Carolina, Lesser Carolina.
That's my favorite.
Yep.
On that note, until our next pour decision.
Yeah.
Cheers, y'all.